have two pain relievers in my hand. I have a CBD product and I have an extra strength pain relief. Today I am going to help you switch from pharmaceutical drugs to CBD products. In my opinion, when it comes to deciding whether I should use a pharmaceutical drug such as Aleve or CBD products, it's no debate for me. Ever since I started using CBD, the way I recovered and the way I felt was drastically different. So I've asked several of you who have used CBD products, and in my audience analysis, about 25% of you stated that you do or are currently using, and about 68% of you said that you don't just because you're uninformed or don't know where to get it or just never heard of it before. And so I wanted to start my speech by talking about what CBD actually is. So as I just said, I just asked, skip. Okay, so CBD is derived and is composed of all natural ingredients. It's derived from the cannabis plant, and as I mentioned in my informative speech, marijuana comes from this same plant. And so I just added this visual right here to kind of give you more of an understanding that they do come from the same plant, but the difference is very specific. So CBD, also known as hemp, contains 0.3% or less of THC, and marijuana contains 0.3% or more of THC. So that number right there is a fine line between legal and illegal. And so it's very thin. And so due to the fact, so according to CBDcentral.com, the use of CBD goes way back to 2070 BC, from when the Chinese dynasty started to begin using CBD for medical benefits, but it wasn't until the early 1900s where American doctors actually began to test this and began to realize that it does have a lot of potential benefits. And so in my audience response to who does use CBD, again, I got 25%, and the reasons were for anxiety, muscle recovery, insomnia, and aches and pains. And this goes straight into the benefits of the CBD, and it holds true to what they are used for. And so just because you take something doesn't always mean that it is effective, but I did ask if it did positively affect him, and they said yes. So that is awesome. And so another thing that I have found that was very, very interesting, and I'm just gonna read off my note card here, was according to the ministryofhemp.com, a market research firm named Brightfield Group surveyed 2,400 registered users of Hello MP. What they found was that 42% of people stopped using traditional medicines and used cannabis instead. What they also found was that 80% of CBD users found these products to be very or extremely effective in treatment as opposed to regular pharmaceutical drugs. So I even think that right there is a huge number that everyone should consider to switching over to CBD. Okay, and so now that I've given you some background information of CBD, I would like to mention some sites and brands that I have found reliable and legitimate. Like anything in the industry, you can find anything as popularity rises, the demand increases, but that doesn't mean that all companies are created equal. So even when shopping online, like for anything, like for clothes, I'm pretty sure you've shopped for clothes and it's come back and it's like really faulty and you're just like, this isn't what I paid for. The same thing with CBD. And so it's very hard to determine low quality versus high quality products when you know nothing about the topic. And so I'm gonna come back to this slide, but I want to talk about what to look for when purchasing CBD online. So according to medium.com, you want to look for the certificate of analysis, which is a lab report. And you want to also look for the lab that, if the lab is accredited by the International Organization for Standardization. And so this is specifically important because just like there are faulty companies, there are also faulty labs, and labs that just write anything and approve anything just to get by. You also want to note that if it contains 0.3% of of THC or less. And like I said earlier, if it contains more, then it's considered illegal, and it's considered, in other states, and it's considered marijuana. And you also want to look for that if it's organic and it has all natural ingredients. And so, to wrap things up, whether you are experiencing stress, as all college students do, whether you are just dealing with your everyday stresses of finals, assignments, it's not only for individuals who deal with pain and who deal with anxiety, it's for all ages. You cannot overdose on this. It is a great alternative from using pharmaceutical drugs, in the sense that with pharmaceutical drugs, you never know what you're getting. With CBD, it is all natural. It pinpoints your body in ways that it sees fit, and you can never mix match and have all the negative side effects that pharmaceutical drugs would then give you. And so if you are conscious about what you put into your body, if you have been wanting to move over to more natural things, I would suggest that CBD would be the right way to go. Thank you.